Hola, hola, bienvenidos a todos a la clase de español. Hi, everybody, welcome. A big warm welcome to everybody. Welcome to Spanish class. More specifically, welcome to Spanish 5 of the 9Y program, so Español 5. So my name is Miss Enriquez. Mi nombre es Señorita Enriquez. And because we find ourselves in quite a unique format here at Argyle School, with everything being online, I thought I'd put together a little welcome video that shows you exactly how everything runs here for the Spanish course, what programs we use, what to expect, and the steps you need to take in order to be successful. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, it is very, very important that you know what course you're taking. I do have 18 different programs, 18 different courses, 3 different programs here at Argyle that I am in charge of. Everybody, all of my students will be working at a different pace throughout the year. So when you check in, especially at the beginning of each semester, it is very, very important that you know which course you're in, which program you're in, so you can so we can both make sure that you're completing the right assignments and that you're in the right place. So make sure you know the course is Spanish 5, Language and Culture, and the program is 9-year. You see it a lot as 9Y. And so I do get that question a lot, is what does 9Y stand for? So literally means 9 years, which actually means that it takes 9 years to complete this course. So we actually start in grade 4. That is the first year. You are right here. Second year, which is grade 5, is still relatively beginner. We're moving towards the intermediate. Third year, and of course, if you intend on going on with this program, eventually you will be finishing in grade 12, which will be the 9th year of this program, and that's when you finish with Spanish 39Y. But right now we're in grade 5, we're taking Spanish 5. It is only our second year, and let's take a closer look at what that means. So first off, you've only had about 1 year of formal Spanish education. Usually that means you've taken the 4-9Y course, you've completed it successfully. So if you do not meet these requirements, if you've never taken Spanish before, or you did but you took it maybe somewhere else where they didn't offer the 9Y program or things like that, I need you to contact me right away via email or give me a quick phone call or pop by the school. I always love meeting my students in person, so I can assess your level and place you where you absolutely need to be, the best place for you. And guys, that's absolutely no problem for me, moving students around at this point. So please don't be shy. Make sure that you come and talk to me if you aren't necessarily at this level, or maybe you're past it, right? What's more important than anything else is making sure that you're in the right course to make sure that you find success this year. Again, you've had little to no exposure in Spanish. You've taken the one course. Maybe you've traveled to a Spanish-speaking country, but you're definitely not a fluent speaker, or you don't live in a household where there are fluent speakers, things like that. So just a little bit of Spanish, just really getting started. Okay, so if you do meet these requirements, then what do you expect this year? So first off, Spanish is a full year course. All language courses offered with Edmonton Public Schools are designed to take an entire year to complete. Roughly expect about 3 hours of work each week. Some students take a little less. If they're stronger, some take more, some take a lot more because they're really meticulous and detailed. It's really up to you. Roughly, I find that's about 3 hours of work each week. Remember, this is quite independent, this learning program. So those 3 hours are your responsibility. It's not like a regular class where I can keep reminding you to stay on task or to make sure that you completed everything. That's definitely something that will be your responsibility. So moving forward, just keep in mind you should be practicing, reviewing, and completing assignments, etc., for about 3 hours each week. The process in this course is number 1, watch instructional video. So with all my levels and all my courses, I do have many, many students who are enrolled full-time at other schools or they're doing extracurricular activities, or they live outside the country. There are many, many reasons why students can't exactly come to class for a whole hour during the day. So what I've done is that I've taken what I would usually teach in a class and I've made instructional videos on my own time, which means that you can go through these videos on your own time whenever it's convenient for you. But please make sure you're not watching these videos like they're movies. You're not sitting on your couch, kind of like letting them pass by. Treat them as if you were in a class. So when you watch them, take your time, write down notes. You should have a notebook with you or a Google Doc or Word doc or something open where you can jot down notes or any questions you might have throughout the video. And again, watch the videos as many times as you need to, as slowly as you need to, or as quickly as you need to. But again, take them very, very seriously and make sure you understand all the elements that I present to you in the video. In the videos, I do explain all the grammar you need to know, all the vocab. I go over your assignments. I explain your projects. Everything that you need to know are in those videos. So that's why they're very, very important to pay attention to. Once you're done that, then there are always two components, a written and a verbal. So the next step would be to complete your written assignments, and then your last step is to complete your verbal assignment. So that is very important. I think a lot of students have the idea that this is a correspondence course. So all they have to do is some written assignments and they'll be done. This is very, very, very incorrect. This is not true at all. This is not a correspondence course. This is an online course. So you are expected to write as well as speak in Spanish and listen to Spanish and read in Spanish. So all the 4 strands of learning, which means you are expected to check in with me once a week to speak in Español. That's right. Which means you need to have a working mic. So like I said again, you must speak in Spanish in order to pass this course. You need to have a working mic either on your laptop, your computer. If you don't, make sure you contact me so I can give you some options. But I do need to be able to see and hear you speak in Spanish for your assignments in order to pass the course. All right. So again, there is no set class time because I will never be actually instructing during the day. I've done that on my own time with those videos, but you still are expected to check in with me during class time once a week. The class times are Thursday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So anytime during those 2 times or those 2 days, you can check in with me to present your projects, to complete your verbal assignments, to ask me questions, to get extra support, whatever you need. So sometimes I have students who check in who are very quick and determined, so they check in, they quickly do their assignment, it takes them a few moments, they sign off and they're done for the week. Some students like to check in both days for 3 hours each time. They like to practice with me or they like me to edit their work. Whatever they need, that is also completely up to you guys. Like I said, you can check in as much as you need to within those 2 days. All I ask is that you check in at least once every week. Okay, so that is our procedure. That is the format of the course. Now the program. So we used 3 programs this year. If you were in this course last year, you're probably very comfortable with Moodle. However, we will not be using Moodle this year. If you try to use it, it's super glitchy this year. And until they get that all sorted out, I'm just going to go ahead and use Google. So hopefully the rest of the year will go smoothly and there are no glitches or technology issues. So we are not going to be using Google at all. We will be moving towards Google Sites, which are accessed via School Zone. So you go to School Zone, you click on Apps and then Sites, and this will be your launching pad, so your starting point. So once you get there, it looks a little bit like this, well, mostly like this. Every now and then I change or I tweak one tiny thing here and there, but most of the time it'll look like this. So once you get to this page, this is where you can get to everything that you need for this course. Your Blackboard sessions are right here. Oh, this purple icon. So you just click on that icon and you get taken into a Blackboard session where you can speak to me directly. That's where you present your verbal assignments, your projects, etc. Make sure when you're signing in, you sign in with your first and last name. So like I said, I have 18 levels and many students with duplicate names everywhere. So it's really important that you put your first and your last name, or at least your last initial. That would be sufficient as well. So definitely not any nicknames or anything like that, because I won't know who you are. The second one would be Google Classroom right there. So again, same thing. You click on the icon, it takes you straight to Google Classroom, and that is where you complete all your written assignments, your worksheets, your projects. That is where you will find your instructional videos, everything that you need there. Here, who is your teacher? You click on that one and you get to see a quick little video about me. Yeah, about where I'm from, how to contact me, and a little bit about my teaching style as well. And of course, the welcome video is posted here as well if you ever need to go back and rewatch it and review the information presented here. All right, so that is Google Sites via School Zone. Looking a little closer to Google Classroom, like I said, this is where you hand in all your written assignments and projects. The icon looks like that-ish. Sometimes it looks a little darker, sometimes it's more green, but it's basically like that. And your startup page on Google Classroom looks like this. Again, sometimes they'll tweak things every now and then, but it relatively looks like this most of the time. If you scroll down, you will be able to see all the different units. Within each unit, you'll see the instructional videos, and then attached to that, of course, are your written assignments. Lastly, Blackboard. So this is where you come to class, your online sessions, to complete your verbal assignments, which are called online tasks, just to confuse everybody. And again, this is where you can come to ask questions, discuss assignments, any other concerns with your teacher, with me. So in the past, there's been several different icons. So if you've seen any of these, they all lead to the same place. We're moving towards hopefully just using this purple icon here, which hopefully is the only one that you see this year. But in case you see the other ones, don't be alarmed. It all means the same thing. All right, so to get started, you need to get to School Zone. There's the sign-in page right there, the login page. You log in with the information that you were given when you registered with Edmonton Public Schools. It does not change from school to school. So if you already have one, go ahead, sign in. If you're having any problems with it, just contact the main office and they will set you up. Once you're in, this might look a little different. This is a teacher view for you, but it looks mostly the same. So make sure you're checking the school news, the class news. This is where I post announcements, any reminders, the school calendar, things like that. You'll see school reminders there. And of course, if you see the tabs at the top, if you go to apps, there it is. That is where you access sites. So it does have a Google Classroom. If you want to access that one, you can. I suggest just using School Zone, Sites, and then you going from there, using Google Classroom from there. But it's really up to you. So School Zone, Apps, Sites, and then you're off and running. All right, so steps to take in order to be successful in this course. Like I said many times now, you need to watch the instructional video first. Then complete the corresponding assignments to each instructional video before moving on to the next video and assignments. Guys, this is very important. So like I said, students will be working at a different pace. So some might be ahead of you, some might be behind. So if you see a new unit pop up, but you're not quite there yet, you're still working on the previous one, keep working on the previous one. It's really important that you complete every assignment in the order that is presented to you. So if you start jumping around and you're starting to do a more advanced unit before completing your previous one, really you're just making things way more complicated and way more difficult for yourself. In language, most language courses are built so one concept leads to the next. So if you remember in Spanish 4, we started with the sounds of Spanish, the alphabet. We moved on to simple words, then sentences, then complex sentences, right? So if you start jumping around through all those concepts, you're just really going to confuse yourself. So make sure that you go at your own pace and in order. Like I said, make sure you attend class a minimum of once a week for as long as you need to. Again, it can be many times a week, but all I ask is that it is a minimum of once a week, and that is the attendance requirement for this course. So like I said, that is a requirement. Attendance of class or to class once a week. Yep, complete all written assignments on Google Classroom, and of course all verbal assignments on Blackboard. And lastly, a little heads up, you do have a midterm task, not an exam, it's a task, as well as a final task. The midterm task should take you all of January to prep, to prepare, and to present. And your final task should take all of June to prepare and to present. Guys, these are bigger tasks. If you pace yourself properly and you do dedicate January and June to it, it will be a piece of cake and I will help you along the way. However, if you leave all your other assignments to the last minute and you're trying to finish them in January as well as doing your task, it will be way too much work. It will be overwhelming and stressful, and I strongly urge you not to do that. That's why I'm giving you a heads up now in September to keep that in mind as you move forward and schedule January for your midterm task and June for your final task, making sure to finish all your other assignments and verbal assignments before each month, before January and before June. Okay, so now we have a plan, guys. Let's do this. So if you don't already know this about me, I actually love Disney and Pixar. I can't get enough. So you will see a lot of these little caricatures everywhere. I just really get a kick out of them. That's just a little side tip about me. So we do have a plan. You know the procedure for the class and the programs that we use. So I want to wish you all the best of luck. Buena suerte. Y éxito en este nuevo curso, and success in this new course. If you have any other questions, feel free to call or to email me. Like I said, I'm more than happy to help, and I look forward to seeing each of you in the online sessions. Thanks, guys. Gracias. Adios.